Hello, welcome to this live stream. So I'm going to talk about a few things here. I'm going to carry on with some of the topics that we've been discussing recently. I released a video, I think it was yesterday, on minor scales, sort of from the perspective of tonality, kind of our major, minor tonal system, diatonics and things. So as I was playing us on there, I was working a little bit with Magnat de Carnaval from Black Orpheus. So that would be a good tune to consider practicing with if you're working with minor and working to understand that whole thing. And one thing that I hope I got across there in that video was the concept that things are going to change and move on a couple different levels. When you're just in one kind of note collection, let's say, and playing A minor, there are three notes there that are going to be really consonant: the A, C, and the E, right? And then maybe the other notes, since they're not falling into what the chordal player is playing, they interact with that a little bit, and they may not be as consonant in this sort of degrees of that. And then when you go to a chord like D minor, even though we're in the same kind of collection of tones, the D, the F, and the A, right, are going to be more consonant, and the others will interact with those tones. So even on that level, right, it's a dynamic thing. It's changing, right? We don't typically stay on one chord throughout a whole tune, although you may. But so, and then when you go through progression, you might have chords borrowed from closely related keys. You may have in minor. It's really almost necessary to adapt some of those tones. So I'll take any questions anybody has on that video if you've seen that, or if you've just have a question on my little intro talk here. But just to sum up, I basically talked about how maybe the lower tones of these minor scales, tend to be in common, at least to these different types of scales. Right. So, we have, of course, natural minor and melodic minor and harmonic minor. And I would add to that the flat 3, flat 7, which I purposely didn't call that by its modal name in the video because I don't want to confuse it with modes. So the whole kind of idea of that video is to help equip folks with the idea of playing in minor tunes in general. So that was kind of the purpose there on that one. So let's say we are playing Mañana de Carnaval. Notice here I'm playing A minor 6 chord. Okay, so if I play a flat 6, it's a real different sound. Right, so the natural 6 just feels a little more stable, you might say. And we get to a 2 and a 5, right? So you can hear we have this G sharp in there, right? So already you can contrast those tones with the natural minor scale, which would have an F natural and a G natural. So we have that versus, say, melodic minor, or other combinations too. So I'll really try to consider those 4 combinations that I covered there in that video. Welcome, Jeffrey. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, so I've got let's see, I also did a shorts video. I'm trying to kind of find a good balance of shorts videos because I don't want to turn this in the direction of a shorts channel, but I will say that I'm going to probably release this short tomorrow morning, as well as a main featured regular melody video. So check that out. Good to hear. Good to hear, Jeffrey. All right, well, I'm going to do a little more playing. If anybody has any questions or anything, let me know. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I'll mention too that I am starting a membership website, fretprince.com, which all goes according to plan. Will launch on February 1st. So check that out. I'm also planning to have some kind of special features on the website, just kind of open to the general public, which I will send out emails on. So join my email newsletter. All right, I'm gonna just noodle around a little bit. You know, if you have any questions. Another really excellent tune to work at minor versus major is Blue Bossa. So Blue Bossa is a fairly short form. Opportunity to play on, C minor. It's really fairly basic. You get 1 chord, 4 chord, and then the 2 with a minor 7 flat 5. And the 5. And the 1. So a lot of opportunity to explore some of the more well-worn paths of chord progressions there. The 1, the 4, the 2, and the 5, and those motions there. And then we get a 2-5 in major. To kind of, in a sense, spice up your lines on major, and there are tons of options, but one thing I did there was I incorporated one of the modes of the D flat harmonic major. So we have this major third and a natural 13, but this flat 9 sound on the dominant 7th. So a couple things, perspectives I like to offer when you're thinking about all these scales and modes and all this. The longer you do it, and just keep at it, no matter where you are on things, you'll find that the interconnectedness of all these tones becomes more and more apparent over time. So really try to consider what tones are common to different chords in your progression, and what's the context of a chord progression. When we have this E flat minor to A flat 13, D flat major 9, there is a connectedness there. There's a relationship, right? As we call that 2-5-1. One way that's really a great way to work at this is to transpose and play it in different keys, whether you're working at it just on your own without a backing track or anything, but also take, if you're using iReal Pro, I think like a lot of people do, take it and transpose it to another key, and then do another key after that, to really keep you on your toes. And you really have to listen for the relationships between these chords more. What oftentimes happens with folks on a tune is you think, okay, when I get to this chord, I go, to this location, and I play here, and then when I get to this chord, I go to this location, right? Rather than thinking relative to what things are doing. And when you're improvising, or really playing chords too, it's really important to understand the relationships between the chords and what's changing and what's going in which direction. Okay, I'll play a little more here, and then we'll continue our talk. Okay. How do we establish that a tune is in minor or major? Well, we can think about tonality and what the tonic means to us. When we have a tonic, we have a note that has a certain weight, and it's sort of at the center of the other tones in a sense. And there's kind of this gravity towards it. And you might even think of it as these notes sort of orbiting it, and everything tends to want to go back to it, right? So we wouldn't say that a tune like Autumn Leaves would be in a key other than its relative minor of the key signature. So in that case, I was playing it in E minor. Okay, so we have the sort of pull to the E. So a certain gravity, a certain pull to that tone, right? So even if we have moments where we play the G, which is the relative major, that's not really the tonal center. So our tonic is the E minor. So those are some things to consider. The perception of tonality, the perception of a tonic. What note does the piece tend to work towards there? So those are some options to kind of consider. Okay, well, I'm choosing some different times to stream. I'm experimenting here a little bit with adding another time. I'd like to get in live stream every couple of days or every few days. So thanks for joining me today if you have already. Yeah, it's a good opportunity to chat a little bit. I plan to release a video tomorrow, melody lesson video on chitlins con carne, recorded this morning. Started to put it all together, and I have a rough mix. So if all goes well, it will be released tomorrow morning. Very cool tune by Kenny Burrell. All right, I'm gonna do a little round a little bit. I'm gonna hang out for another maybe 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay. Jeffrey, thanks for your question. Do you slow down the original when you transcribe? It depends. I have definitely done that. But I think for transcribing, it's okay to keep it at tempo usually. And I'd recommend transcribing phrase by phrase, which will be, I think, easier if you just keep it at the tempo. But if it's blazing fast, then yeah, you might want to slow it down. But I wouldn't. One thing maybe just in general about transcribing is I would transcribe. I would recommend transcribing small amounts. unless you have a particular project where it's like you really want to transcribe like a whole solo or something like that. But what I would recommend doing in terms of transcribing is do like a listen through and hear if there's a line that you like, and then focus in on that. Now, I will say about slowing down. I do think it's important to slow it down when you're working to get a phrase going. So when you let's say you wrote out the phrase you're transcribing, or you found where it is on the guitar, or whatever it is, to take time to slow it down, whether you're practicing with something or just on your own. Slow down, just play at a slow tempo and internalize it. Maybe even play it in several positions and even different registers, and play in the context of the harmony, right? And then that's probably when I would focus on slowing down the audio. You could take a looping section. I use Chronotron a lot, and so you can loop a little section and just play it slow and let your fingers get to know very solidly where the notes are on the guitar, and get familiar, because a lot of the speed will evolve through that, if it's at a fast pace or something like that. So yeah, great question. Another thing about transcribing is get into what makes the solo effective, or what makes the particular phrase work, right? How does it relate to the piece as a whole? How does it relate to the chord at the moment of time and all that? Yeah, you're welcome, Jeffrey. Yeah. All right, everybody, I'm going to hang for about 2 more minutes. Thanks for joining in, Jeffrey. Should be back on Sunday, and keep an eye out for new melody lesson. Release that tomorrow morning. I'll probably do, if all goes well, if all goes to plan, this evening I'll probably do a pre-release to members here on the YouTube channel, and just has a benefit to them. That'll give me a chance to, it gives me a chance to kind of listen to it and see if I need to do any last minute changes. Some of the challenges with audio is getting things mixed well, and get them what's called translating on different devices, whether it be phones or laptops or desktop speakers, and nice audio systems as well. So all right, everybody. Well, thanks so much for joining in. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And check out fretprints.com. So I've got some things in the works there, and make sure you're on the email newsletter, because I'm going to be sending out some special little additional things, let's say, for for some of these lessons and stuff. So, and I have a free course on foundational studies. All right, everybody. Thanks again, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a nice weekend, Jeffrey. All right, we'll see you all later.